Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to focus on the following question. How will the coronavirus impact air pollution? Lesson objective. Today you will read about how the coronavirus pandemic may impact air pollution. The coronavirus has caused a great deal of change in the way the world operates. Today you will read about how the health crisis is impacting air pollution. In the next lesson, you will write a letter to a friend about the situation. Independent work. Complete the chart before reading. When you are done reading, you will return to this slide. Statements. The health crisis has caused a decrease in activities that lead to carbon emissions. So, before the reading, is the statement true or false? And after the reading, we're going to come back and revisit our this statement and see if our answer has changed. And we're going to provide text evidence to support our answer. So, let's review the statements. The second statement, the changes caused by coronavirus are temporary. Before the reading, I'm going to answer whether it's true or false. During my reading, I'm going to get more information that may change my answer or keep it the same. And I'm also going to provide text evidence to support that answer. And finally, the last statement is climate activities may be able to climate activists may be able to use this pause to their benefit. True or false? After reading, I'll come back and revisit, and then I will provide text evidence. So, the health crisis has caused a decrease in activities that lead to carbon emissions. I believe that's true, but I'm not sure. I might change my answer after the reading. The changes caused by coronavirus are temporary. I believe that's also true. And climate activists may be able to use this pause to their benefit. I also believe that's true. Well, let's get the reading done and then come back and revisit. Could coronavirus reduce air pollution? The new coronavirus has caused alarm around the world. To slow the spread of the virus, many countries have ordered factories and businesses to close. Some governments are telling citizens to stay home. This means that many countries are now creating fewer goods. But closing of factories means that there are fewer carbon dioxide emissions too. When people burn fossil fuels such as coal and oil, they release gases such as carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. The gases trap heat in the atmosphere, contributing to global warming. This is an overall increase in temperatures around the world. The coronavirus has shown how governments can move quickly to protect their citizens. Environmental activists say that the same urgency is necessary for the environment. Image 1, an aerial view of a main road during the first day of national quarantine to stop the spread of the new coronavirus on March 25, 2020 in Bogota, Colombia. With factories, airports, and entire cities shut down, analysts say it is possible that this will lead to the first fall in global emissions since 2008. The first fall in 10 years. The coronavirus first appeared in China. The country is also the world's largest carbon dioxide emitter. The government shut down many factories because of the virus. While this means that the country is making less money, it has also resulted in less pollution released into the air. Millions of people around the world have stopped traveling to school or work. Health experts are telling people to avoid travel. Tens of thousands of flights have been canceled. Since airplanes release carbon dioxide, this means that thousands of tons have not been released. Experts say that this might lead to the first drop in global emissions in more than 10 years. Even a slight decrease in carbon dioxide emissions could help climate activists. Rob Jackson is the chair of the environmentalist group Global Carbon Project. He said this trend would only be meaningful if it led to change in the long term. If this could change the way we travel, it could lead to more virtual meetings, end quote, he said. Will these changes last? The question is whether Changes are temporary. So far, scientists say that the virus has stopped China from releasing about 200,000 megatons of carbon dioxide emissions this year. A megaton is 1 million tons. However, these changes may not last. Factories could reopen and crank up production to make up for lost businesses. This could be even worse for the environment. Experts say that it is too early to know if the coronavirus will make global carbon emissions fall. It is hard to guess how this will affect global warming. It depends on how far the outbreak spreads. It also depends on how economies are affected. Corinne Leclerc is a professor of climate science. She said that so far, the crisis is only likely to slow carbon emissions, not reverse them. Over the past 10 years, emissions have grown about 1% each year. This means that, quote, you will need a really big reduction to see a fall this year, end quote. A slowdown could help activists. The slowdown in carbon dioxide emissions would gain time for activists. It would allow for advances in technology, Leclerc said. It would give people time to put public pressure on governments. She said the response to the coronavirus shows that taking action can make a difference. Bill McKibben is an American author and environmentalist. He wrote that no environmentalist should welcome a crisis, but they can learn from it. McKibben is satisfied with how quickly millions of people seem to have learned new patterns. Many companies are now allowing employees to work from home. Working from home means that we use less gasoline and need less room for offices, he says. This might affect how we work in the future. So let's go back to the chart and check for understanding to see if our answers have changed. The first statement, the health crisis has caused a decrease in activities that lead to carbon emissions. Before the reading, I said it was true. And after the reading, I also say it's true. And I found the following text evidence to support my answer. The text states, quote, to slow the spread of the coronavirus, many countries have ordered factories and businesses to close. So, I believe that the health crisis has, in a way, led to less carbon emissions. The next statement states the changes caused by coronavirus are temporary. Before the reading, I said it was true, and after the reading, I also believe it's true. And here's my text evidence. The text states these changes may not last. Factories could reopen and crank up production to make up for lost business. My last answer also stays the same because the text states the slowdown in carbon dioxide emissions would gain time for activists. It would allow for advances in technology, like Leclerc said. It would give people time to put public pressure on governments. Thanks for watching.